we make things. We use our hands, minds, and machines to build, to fix, to improve. We're known as do-it-yourselfers, home improvement fans, fix-it fanatics, inventors. At our core, though, we're all makers. So let's jump in and make something. Hi, I'm Ron Hazelton. Welcome to the show. As the saying goes, good fences make good neighbors. I'd like to add that good gates make even better fences. Today we're going to build a gate that's as good looking as it is practical. Then I'll show you the best way to completely transform some unattractive kitchen cabinets with paint using a low pressure spray system. Finally, a clever and handy tip for easily removing stubborn masking tape. Well, I'm off to visit Mike Kerrigan and Lisa Hollett. Now, they live just up the road in Gloucester, Massachusetts. They're very proud of their town's history, and they want their home to reflect that traditional New England style. That's why they've enclosed their deck with a classic lattice fence featuring an archway. But 2-year-old daughter Cashlyn is pushing farther and farther in her childhood explorations. So now Mike and Lisa need a gate under the archway, and I've come to help them build it. This is very nice. So is the gate just for appearance sake, or is there a security issue here with Cashlyn?
Security and looks.
A little bit of both. A little bit of both. Okay. What I'm thinking is something pretty simple, but kind of an arched top that sort of mirrors the arch up here on the top of the entryway here. And then lattice work that picks up the lattice work that's already there. So how does it look to you guys?
Looks great.
Love it.
Okay. After laying down Cashlyn for a nap, Mike and Lisa join me on their driveway, where I've laid out the lumber for their gate. This big piece right here is going to be the top. It's out of this that we're going to cut this arched shape right here. The sides here and here, I've laid out over here, and the bottom, this piece of 4x4 right here. Now all this is, guys, is a couple pieces of this 2x12 right here that I've glued up with some waterproof glue and then clamped it. To create the side pieces, we'll glue not just 2, but 3 boards together to form a sandwich. And then if you can take the brush here and just kind of spread this out, this is sort of stiff.
Should I cover it all the way? Or?
Yeah, that's good. As much of an even coating as you can get with that. That's good. This is polyester glue we're using today. It cures or dries by reacting to moisture. So I brush water on the face of the bottom board to promote a better bond when we join the 2 surfaces together. Lisa aligns the end of the middle board with a line I drew on the bottom board. Then repeats the process with the top section. I will say one thing about this glue. I've ruined more than one set of clothing with this stuff. It is very, very strong. It'll never let go of the wood. It'll never let go of your clothing either. When assembled, the shorter center board and the 2 longer outside ones form notches at each end called mortises. Our next step will be to cut tongues or tenons in the ends of the top and bottom rails that will fit snugly into the mortises, creating very strong joints. And to do that, we're going to be cutting away every place here that I've got an X. And we're going to use the power miter box to do that. You notice what I've done is I've set the saw so it only comes part of the way down. And we'll place the wood in here, line the blade up with that first line right here. And then we're going to make a series of repetitive passes back and forth. And each time we'll pull this out a little bit until we've removed all of that wood. And what we'll have left is the tenon. Shaving the board 1 saw blade's width at a time, Mike and Lisa create the first half of the tenon. Then they flip the board over and finish the job. Very nice, guys. After cutting a second tenon on the opposite end of the bottom rail, we repeat the process for the top rail. All right, guys, there we go. There's our tenon. On a wide plank like this, it's not unusual for the saw blade to leave a small ridge on one end, so I cut it away using a chisel. So let's zip these together.
Just slides right together?
Should go right, the tenon should go right into the mortise is there like that.
Excellent.
Okay. You guys did a great job. So have you had a lot of gate building experience before?
Well, we've put up a couple of baby gates in the house, but
And I probably could have used your help doing that.
Oh, yeah? Uh-oh. Next, we'll cut the top rail to form an arch. So that's going to be cut out of this wide piece right here. And I've made up a template out of a piece of scrap plywood. So all we'll do is lay this on here, like this, and take a pencil and just draw this arch right around here, like that.
Nice.
Okay? The top curved rail will be 3 inches wide, so we need to draw a second parallel line that distance from the first. No, we can't just use the same template because this second line has a slightly larger radius. So we set a compass to 3 inches and plot a series of points beneath the first line. When was the last time you used a compass?
Oh, I don't know if I ever used one.
3rd grade? Mike taps in small nails on Lisa's marks. And now, it's time for the old bent stick trick. This is just a thin strip of wood, thin enough to be flexible. So we'll start here. Lisa, if you could hand me a couple clamps over there. And we're just going to clamp this to the nails as we go around here. And what it's going to do is form a nice, even arc for us. This strip makes a template for an arc exactly parallel to the first, and Mike draws in the line. To cut out our arch, we move to the portable bandsaw. You can just really take your time. There's no rush on this. If it starts to drift off the line too much, you can just sort of back up and restart it. Next, Mike cuts the ends of the gate sides to match the curve of the arch top. Then Lisa and I fit the top and sides together. Then we'll take our pencil, and we're going to use the edge that we just cut as kind of a template. That's our cut line there. Great. Okay. There is the top of our gate. After sanding the arch with an oscillating drum sander, we start gluing the gate together. Well, I bet you've done a lot of things one-handed, Lisa, but making a gate, I don't think was one of them that you probably plan on doing.
Nope.
Want a little bit of gluing? Huh? Want to try your brush?
Go ahead, honey.
Here.
You do.
Good. Excellent. Excellent. In addition to gluing all of our joints, we'll reinforce them with wooden pegs. We start by drilling 2 holes completely through each joint. Next, we brush glue on pieces of dowel, insert them into the holes, and hammer them in.
You give one. Give it to Mom.
Okay, Cash, the next dowel.
Thank you.
Very good, hon. Good. The dowels, or pegs, are intentionally left long and then cut off flush with my Japanese handsaw. Well, our frame's together. Now we're going to be putting a piece of lattice work in the center here, and to hold that in place, we'll need to install these little keeper strips. Lisa attaches the wooden strips with a nail gun.
Whoa.
After cutting out a piece of lattice work to fit the frame, we drop it into place against the keeper strips. There we go. All right. That looks nice. Now we'll take some more of these keeper strips and put them on this side, the same way we did the back side.
Right.
All righty. We got a gate.
Looks great.
But it's getting dark, so we call it a day. When I come back the next morning, Lisa's just finishing painting the gate. Oh, this is coming along great. After the paint's dry, Lisa screws one side of the hinges to the fence post. Now we can hang the gate. We set it on 2x4s to give us the proper clearance underneath. Then level the gate with shims. Finally, Lisa screws the other side of the hinges to the gate. Now, all that's left is to mount the latch. Well, you got a real New England garden going here. You know, I couldn't imagine this having turned out any better. I love the way the top of this gate reflects that arch up there. It makes it look almost like a complete circle.
It really looks great, Ron.
I'm very happy with it.
Well, you know, Ron, a couple years ago they filmed The Perfect Storm here in Gloucester.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, now I think we have the perfect gate in Gloucester.
With their new gate, Lisa and Mike have indeed beefed up security for Cashland. And our customized design is not only a perfect complement to their fence, but to the historic character of this old New England town. We found our way to Lebanon, Ohio, about halfway between Cincinnati and Dayton. You know, the first thing you notice hereabouts are the lot sizes. It seems that in this part of Ohio, people like their lawns big.
Hi.
Zebra, how are you?
Good.
Ron,
Scott.
welcome to Lebanon, Ohio.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here.
Hi, come on in. My kitchen's waiting for you.
Let's take a look.
This is the kitchen. We're just finishing up our remodeling, and I'm finding this is just way too dark with all the light things that I'm trying to do in the kitchen.
Why not just take these out and replace them?
Cost is a factor at this point. We want something just for the couple of years until we can really remodel.
Okay, so this is an interim thing.
Right.
Just a temporary.
So what I'm going to suggest is let's paint these, put on some new hardware.
Great.
They're going to look like new, but it'll cost you practically nothing.
I think that's a good plan.
Okay?
All right.
Let's do it.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, we're going to have to clean these cabinets off. This is a heavy-duty cleaner, sort of a TSP-like cleaner, although this is phosphate-free. Put some of that, about 1/4 cup, in 2 gallons of warm water. So we start washing.
You missed a spot.
Did I miss a spot? You're always telling me I missed a spot.
We pay special attention to the areas around the stove where grease and cooking oils are most likely to be present. We're going to take these doors down to refinish them. So I want to first, let's take off the knobs and then the hinges. Are you set?
All set.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your drills. Let's go. Come on. With all 3 of us using drills fitted with screwdriver bits, the doors are off in a matter of minutes. Okay, Sabre, let's pull these drawers out here. You and Scott, just grab it, pull them out, lift them up, and pop them right out. Great, and just stack them right over here if you would, please. Thank you very much. Once the drawers are out, we remove all the hardware. So these are clean, we've gotten the hardware off. Now we want to give these what's called a light scuff sanding. And we don't have to remove all the finish on here, just roughen this up a little bit so that the paint will have an easier time of gripping to this. Now we could sand using a medium grit sandpaper, say number 80 or 100. But today, I want to try out these sponge rubber sanding blocks because I think they'll do a great job of getting up into the corners. Next, we'll be using something called a tack cloth. And these are, as you can see, really sticky pieces of cloth. Okay. So all you have to do is just sort of wipe this, and you can see it's all the stuff that was on the surface here that this is picking up. To prime the doors and drawer fronts, we're going to use a very inexpensive, high-volume, low-pressure sprayer like this one right here. Very simple to use. Just want to keep the nozzle of the spray gun about 6 or 8 inches from the surface there. I'll do one. Give it to you guys. We start by spraying the outside edges, making sure to keep the spray nozzle a constant distance from the surface.
Oh, this is going on so easy. I can do this.
Next, the inside edges get painted. The interior panels are sprayed last, working from bottom to top. To keep from overspraying, I suggest that Sabre take her finger off the trigger momentarily at the end of each stroke. While the primer is drying, we go back inside to start work on the cabinets. We begin by applying masking tape to cover the walls. We could spray these cabinets, but if we do that, we've got to mask everything off right here. I think it's a little bit more trouble than it's worth, okay? So we're going to do this with brush and roller. A 2-inch sash brush is used to prime the edges of the cabinets where they meet the ceiling and walls. The cabinet ends can be covered quickly using a short nap 3-inch roller. The roller is also used to apply paint to the cabinet fronts, or face frames as they're called. Those nice straight strokes, top to bottom. For hard to reach and tight areas, it's back to the brush. But for covering ground quickly, it's the roller. Once you've rolled a surface like this, come back and do what's called striking off, and that means to take your roller, begin at the top, and go all the way to the bottom, one long stroke like this. This will take out any roller marks and leave you with a smooth, clean, professional-looking surface. Primer's dry, so it's time to put the top coat on. We're going to use a special cabinet and vanity paint. This one's by Valspar. The difference is that this will resist the lanolin in your fingers because you're going to be touching this a lot when you're opening and closing the doors. So guys, go ahead, put it on the same way you did before with the primer.
Okay.
I'm going to use a slightly wider roller to get these big end panels down here. This will just save us a little bit of time. Back outside, we start painting the doors and drawers using the same specially formulated cabinet and vanity paint. We thin it slightly with water so that it will flow easily through the spray gun and level properly. The key here is to put on enough paint to flow out evenly, but not so much that it will run or sag. As we finish each door, we set it off to the side to dry. Let's do another one. The drawers are best sprayed by setting them on end so that the faces are horizontal. Less chance of drips and runs this way. After giving the paint 24 hours to dry, we install the new knobs, reattach the hinges, which we decided to repaint, and begin replacing the doors. There we go. So if you just hold that for me right there. Good. Got it?
Got it.
Okay. Get the screws in here. Finally, we reinstall the drawers. In all, the project has taken us a day and a half. Well, take a look for yourself. In this short time, we transformed this kitchen into one that's bright and cherry. I like this.
Oh, the
What
color.
a difference, huh?
The color is great.
Yeah? You're happy?
Perfect. It's professional. It's exactly what we wanted.
Couple hours,
Yeah, it was great.
couple
Wow.
gallons of paint, brand new kitchen.
It worked great. It's
You guys,
great.
you were terrific to work with. I think we deserve a toast. I think, got a little of this left over. There you go. This looks like to me, colonial cream. There we go. Okay, guys, do a great job and a great set of working partners. The best.
Here.
Semi-gloss or flat? When I was a kid, I worked for my dad as a plasterer's apprentice, and we used to always wear rubber gloves to protect our hands. Trouble was, our hands would sweat, and the inside of the gloves were always getting wet. So he showed me this quick trick to dry them out. Grab the cuff, stretch it like this, and spin the glove. Builds up a little air pressure on the inside, and just push the fingers out. When it's time to put them on again, just reverse the process. Tuck the fingers in, stretch the cuff, spin the glove, pop the fingers out, and you're ready to start again. This ever happened to you? You start a painting job, you have to leave for whatever reason. When you come back, the masking tape just won't come off the surface without doing some damage. Well, here's an easy way to get it off. Use a hairdryer. Now hold the hairdryer just about 3 or 4 inches from the tape. The heat will soften the adhesive as you gently pull it off the wall. This technique will work on almost any kind of tape or label and remove it from wallpaper, painted finishes, or even furniture.
To view today's projects again and countless more, go to HouseCallsDIY.com. Step-by-step home improvement tips when you need them.
I'm Brian Kelsey. Welcome to House Calls.
Join us as we tackle some great home projects, as well as look back at favorites from Ron Hazelton on House Calls.